For Kit first, just a steady guy. I mean, a guy that's been through a lot of big games, a lot of big innings, a lot of moments for a long time in the game on a lot of good teams. So when he was signed this offseason, it was a big signing for us. We're really excited about him, what he was going to bring to our team, into our bullpen. Unfortunately, having him has been delayed because of the injury. He's here now. We're just excited to have him in the fold. As for McDermott, did a great job yesterday. Came up. I think he kind of understood what the situation was in terms of the innings. That's not an easy thing to do as a young pitcher, to come in here and know most likely, you know, what the fate is going to be after the game. But I think you guys probably all knew, and I think everybody probably knew how that was going to go with Kit looming. And he handled it like a pro, like a seasoned guy. Kept us in the game, 6th inning, down by 3. I mean, we would have absolutely taken that when we started the day.
Any update on Ramon Laureano today?
Fortunate, wasn't serious, very mild and minor at the moment. Expecting to be back within the next couple days.
Jordan Morton's back in starting in Boston. What have you kind of seen from him the past couple outings that kind of gives you confidence that he can give you innings in Boston?
You know, you go back the last probably 3, 4, 5 maybe outings out of the bullpen. You've kind of seen him slowly transition back into himself. Kind of what he's done for the 20 years that he's been pitching in the big leagues. He's looking a lot more like that. The stuff is there. I think sometimes, and I saw this a long time ago, as a minor league coach, just being a fan essentially, not on the staff or having anything to do with it. But I remember watching in the minor leagues Carlos Carrasco when he was young, a young starter in Cleveland, got moved to the bullpen, and then kind of transitioned back into starting down the road that year, and then became Carlos Carrasco. And watching Charlie kind of go through what he did, it's probably not normal to do it as a 40-year-old and a guy that's got 20 years in the show, but kind of watch him go down there. I'm sure he got some of those same things out of that, being able to slow the game down, work on what he needed to work on, and kind of get back to himself, which is kind of what we're expecting.
What's impressed you the most about Tomo this year?
He's kind of been our stopper. He's kind of been our guy, which we need today. You know, he's just been so good. He's so consistent. You know, I laugh. You know, he's had some great outings this year, and every time he comes in the dugout, it looks like no big deal to him. There's just so much composure, and abnormal composure for a guy that's 35, and we understand what his track record is in Japan and, you know, how great of a pitcher he's been, but, you know, even how he handles himself in just a moment, it's even better than what you would possibly imagine.
Obviously some substantial stuff to come back from, but what are you guys kind of seeing right now with Felix Bautista that just hasn't been himself?
I think we just got to get him out there more. I do think pitching once a week, and it's nobody's fault. It's because we're trying to save him to close the 9th. And we had a conversation with him as a staff here recently about pitching down 1, down 2 in the 8th. If it was an opportunity on the road to get more consistent innings, we didn't want to sit on him for a week. So, you know, he wants to get out there more. He doesn't want to sit for a week. We want our best pitcher to pitch in a close game, you know, so if it was up 1, that would be ideal, but if it's down 1 in the 8th, knowing that the bottom of the 9th isn't guaranteed on the road, then we're going to have to use him in that spot.
So the Orioles, looking to avoid the sweep here in Milwaukee, will turn to their stopper. Tomoyuki Sugano, as the 35-year-old continues to tear up his Rookie of the Year campaign. O's trying to find their first win in their last 9 games before they continue on to Boston from here. Can the offense pick them up? How far will Sugano go today? Time will tell. Lineups, first pitch, and more are just around the corner. It's the finale between the Orioles and the Brewers next.
Splitter, cutter, and the sweeper have been 3 of the Orioles' most valuable pitches, any pitcher this year. And the 3-1 cutter fought off to first by Yelich. A 1-2-3 first inning on 9 pitches. Back in the dugout quicker than you could fill a glass of water. O's middle of the lineup coming up next. Actually, it's not. It's the cookies. 2-1.
Just the cookies
for Rhys Hoskins. Yeah, it's been nice to see, Ben, how easily Tomoyuki Sugano's fit into this team. Obviously, he's the only Japanese player on this team. First year in Major League Baseball as he dumps in a splitter to Hoskins. But you were down in spring training and felt pretty comfortable from the start?
I think so. I feel like he's gotten more comfortable. I felt like his first 3 or 4 starts, again, just trying to get his feet wet, trying to learn his teammates a little bit, learn the league, learn the hitters, the ballparks, all those things. A lot going on for him, but he has been much more comfortable lately. And that's a pretty comfortable breaking ball right there. Almost a little bit of sweeping action to that pitch.
Rhys Hoskins down looking. Sugano's first strikeout.
Little front door, you get a little bit of a flinch from Hoskins right there. Once he flinched, it was over. That ball just came back, caught the top of the zone.
Astros, Dodgers, and the Milwaukee Brewers.
Yeah, the Brewers had what, the 4th best record in baseball last year.
So there's a rare walk for Sagano. Puts on Haas on the 7th pitch. It's another year where the Brewers were frankly not expected to compete for the Central and got up to a very slow start, but a win today, they'd be back at 500. Right now 10 teams at 500 or better, with the Brewers right there. Little flare to right center. Mullins charging in, can't get there. Gets past Carlson as well, and Haas will chop the steps at third on an 0-2 pitch. Popped up by Durbin. O'Hearn in foul territory puts him away, and those runner in scoring position numbers just got even better. Sagano strikes out 2 and strands a pair. Weather looks a little hairy in Boston tomorrow, as the O's will hopefully open a 4-game series. Here's Joey Ortiz. Tomoyuki Sagano had to throw 28 pitches in that 2nd inning, worked around a 2-out walk and a single, and did strike out 2. Ortiz with a dribbler to Henderson, his former teammate and counterpart, throws him out.
That ball took a funny little hop on Henderson. He had to redirect a little bit. Yeah, the average big league pitcher throw.
There's 3-2. In the air to left field. Kjerstad will get there. Couple of line drive outs against a cutter for Sagano to retire Terang.
Kjerstad been playing a little more right field than left, but he got a good beat on that ball. Good jump. Tomo said, yep, that's an out.
Jackson Chourio goes the other way for a base hit.
Just his 2nd base hit of this series.
So a runner at 2nd, another runner in scoring position, and a ground ball from Yelich. Sagano once again minimizes the threat here with a runner on 2nd base. He's through 3 scoreless. Think he ever gets bored? You get 120 at bats into it. You say, screw it, I'm just going to go down the slide. That's something to do. Maybe Bernie could play cribbage with the attendant up there past the time. 3-2. Hoskins pokes one into right field for a base hit, and the Brewers have their first leadoff batter on today.
Well, that's how you hit 300s.
Long-time Detroit Tiger. There goes the runner. Hoskins on the way to 3rd, and that ball slicing into right field. He'll have to retreat on the catch by Carlson. Boy, Sagano had no inkling at all that Rhys Hoskins was taken off for 3rd there, and gets away with it by making a good 2-strike pitch. Another 2-2, 6th pitch to Bowers. High fly ball to center. Mullins just a couple of short steps in, makes the play, and Sagano's now stranded a runner at 2nd. 3 straight innings, 1-0 O's. And he pops it up to 3rd. Rivera makes the catch. So Ortiz donates an out and does not advance the runner. Terang has just crushed fastballs this year, 337. A ground ball to the right side. Durbin was on the run. Durbin's coming home. Durbin will score. That is Milwaukee Brewer baseball. Scoring from 2nd on a ground out. 2 strikes on Chourio. And to right field. Carlson there. Brewers get a double, a bunt pop out, and a run scoring ground out. All new at the home of the Crew. Heart of the order for the Brewers. Yelich to the left side. Backhand Henderson. Great throw.
That's such a good play. That is not an easy play, and Gunnar Henderson makes it look so easy. 86 pitches is where he is right now, trying to get through the 6th.
And that'll help a rare strikeout of Sal Frelick. So a nice bounce back as Sagano has K'd Frelick twice.
It's an elevated four-seamer, foul tipped right into the mitt of Adley Rutschman. Yeah, Tomo has averaged his 9 starts this year going in. He's averaged 6 innings per outing.
Haas to shortstop. Henderson, 2 fine plays in the inning. There was a strikeout, but there's also a long ball from Rhys Hoskins. It'll be Carlson, Holiday, and Rutschman down a run.
Orioles win one out in Milwaukee to avoid the sweep. 8-4 is the final today. Adley Rutschman, an 11th inning home run. Made sure they put it away. They didn't have to risk any more of their bullpen as they went with it. So did Tony Mansolino, his first win as the interim manager. Now, his dad had 5 games as an interim manager in the minor leagues, finishing with a 4-1 record, so he can finally start chipping in to Doug's record tonight. Let's go ahead and send things over, though, where the skipper breaks it all down.
Tony, some great clutch hits for you guys down the stretch. I know it's been a struggle this year. How encouraging was that to see today?
Yeah, you know, we hit the ball hard today. It was tough the first 6, 7, 8 innings. These guys got good pitching. You know, I think they've always kind of had good pitching, and you know, I think we probably missed our main guy too, Peralta. But you know, I felt like in the extra innings, some balls kind of fell down for us and went through. We flipped some balls in. We battled 2 strikes, some big knocks, and you know, Adley with the big hit there at the end.
Pressure after a game like that, which ends in your first managerial win?
Not, you know, I was thinking about that. That's funny you asked that. I don't think it's too different from coaching third base. I mean, you know, it's sitting out there and coaching third base in a big game or a playoff game as we have here the last couple years. It's a pretty similar feeling, and it's probably a pretty similar feeling to managing a team in the minor league playoffs. Probably not too different. So, you know, it's a different feeling in a weird way, but I was definitely used to it and kind of ready for it.
We've seen some fight from this team in the last few days, maybe of the too little too late variety, but to keep falling behind and to keep coming back, how impressive just was that to see from a team that had lost 8 straight and had every reason to maybe give up each time?
Yeah, that's just more of the group. I mean, they fought for height all year too, so it's just more of the group. It's who they are. There's, you know, we don't expect them to do anything special for me. I mean, they kind of have been that way all year. So something that we're accustomed to seeing with these guys, and you know, it was nice to kind of stop the bleeding today.
You talked to the late innings this week. I mean, how do you look at that? Is it encouraging that the way y'all are playing the late innings, or just discouraging that maybe you weren't doing it earlier, or how do you kind of approach that?
Yeah, these guys got good pitching. I mean, they got good starting pitching, and you know, we battled, and you know, their relief pitching is really good too. And for whatever reason, we were able to handle them probably a little better than their starters these last few days, and you know, so be it.
You had said a few days ago that there was some anxiety in taking over this job. Is it a little bit of a weight off your shoulders to finally get that first win?
Not me. This whole thing isn't about me managing. I like, even win the game and everybody's congratulating you for your first win. I don't really feel that way about it. It's more for the players and the organization. I mean, the players have been through a lot here. I think we lost 6, 7, 8 in a row. I have no idea. And then obviously the change in the organization. So I just think for the organization and the players to win the game, I think that's what's important.
Does it feel like a weight off the shoulders of the organization to snap a losing streak?
I think any organization that's lost has a losing streak probably feels that way, yeah.
With the way extra innings goes, you know, 1-run games could be so tenuous, and an extra inning with an automatic runner. The fact that Rutschman blasted that 3-run home run there, not just for him, but for the team, I mean, how good was that to give you an ample lead in that situation?
Well, they were kind of down to it. Alexander was out there. I think it was Abner, I think Uribe is his name. I think he was 3 in a row. And then the big lefty that they really like, Koning, was 3 in a row. I don't know if they would have came out. Alexander might have been their last guy. So I felt like kind of as we were going and the game was going, if we could hang in there, we'd maybe get to the end of it. Maybe Alexander was emergency today. Maybe he was up. But, you know, Adley hits the 3-run homer. I think kind of what's lost in the whole thing is some of the plays that Heston made. In the 10th inning, Heston hits the cutoff guy. Baker gives up the hit. Guy scores, Heston comes up, keeps the ball down, Uri's cuts the ball, throws the ball to second base right there. If Heston kind of flies that ball to the plate, guy walks into second base, Contreras is sitting over there, who's kind of giving us fits over the last couple years. So Adley with the obvious, homer there that kind of put us out of it, but for me it was Heston who kind of got us to that moment.
How about the 4 hits from O'Hearn?
It's unnoticeable. I think just how he is, and I looked up at one point, saw that he had 4 hits, and I was like, how did Ryan get 4 hits? But I think you just kind of get used to this guy every day and how he just puts the ball in play, hits the ball hard, he gets hits. I mean, I think his numbers probably show that he's been doing this all year, and really the last couple years. It was great. It's kind of the same thing that we've seen. His command of like 10 pitches or whatever it is, I have no idea, but he throws the ball wherever he wants. He's awesome. I mean, he's kind of been our stopper, and he did it today.
Felix back-to-back days for the first time since Tommy John. How do you think he did?
Just didn't have command of his fastball, and I think we've kind of seen that here for a couple outings, like just spraying the fastball a little bit. I think the more we get him in there right now, I think we'll start to see that. The velocity on the fastball looked pretty good. I think I looked up, the first pitch was maybe 97. We've seen him come out though 95 a couple times when he's on like 6-7 days rest. So the idea of getting him in the game was just to kind of get him going and stop having so many long layoffs, so he can continue to build his arm back up to where it was.
You put the Batista back-to-back for the first time this season. Did you have some hesitation?
No, it's been part of the organizational plan about this point to start that process for him.
2-run ball for him today, continuing to stay in that American League Rookie of the Year discussion, as he absolutely should. Here he is with his interpreter, Yuto.
Second time for you here pretty recently where you've been the guy to stop a losing streak. How important is that, and how nice does that feel for you?
これでルージングストリーク負け越しを止めたのが2回目ですけど、それをどう思いますか？
やっぱり簡単なことじゃないので、まずは先制点を取られないようにそこだけ注意して投げました。
It's not an easy thing to stop a losing streak like this, but all I thought was to make sure I don't give them a run first.
What does it show about this team for the several times a lead was blown today for the offense to continue to fight back?
こうしてここ最近リードが奪われることが何度かあるんですけど、そうやって奪われてもまた逆転するっていうことに対してこのチームにどういうふうに思いますか？そういうことができるチームって。
皆さんご存知の通りやっぱり、そういう力があるチームだと思いますし、ただ発揮できてないっていうところだけだと思うので、毎回自分自身もみんなそれぞれチームだったり自分に期待して試合に入ってると思うんですけど、やっぱり一つ勝つっていうのはやっぱそれだけ難しいことなんだなっていうのを改めて今日実感しました。
As a team, we do have the ability to turn things around like this, and I feel like every time I start, in some capacity, the guys rely on me. But if we can continue to play these kind of games moving forward, that'll be great.
Well, and the guys want him to continue to play games like this moving forward. You look at May, 25 2/3 innings of work, a 3.16 ERA, the strikeouts 3 times that of the walks, an opponent average of 194. It does not get much better than this. Again, just needed a couple outings to get settled in, to get back to his mechanics. And now that he feels like he's completely embedded with this team, it is all green lights for Tomoyuki Sugano. What a joy it is to have him on the team this year. And